started. Welcome to Mindful Morning Yoga. And I teach these classes on Zoom most Saturdays for fun and as a passion project to share yoga with all my colleagues and to help everyone be a little more mindful and present and feel better. And my invitation, as always, is to adapt if you need, opt out of anything. That's one of the beautiful things of Zoom and YouTube yoga. If it doesn't work for you, opt out. I know there are a number of new faces, and so do what you can and modify. And one of my invitations is always to use all the supports that you need, whether they be blocks, bolsters, pillows, blankets, straps. The more, the better. In that yoga is supposed to be fun and it's supposed to be comfortable. And if you are very uncomfortable, you won't grow, even though that is our experience in medicine generally, is to be very uncomfortable, at least at the beginning. And so with that, find your sit bones on the earth, connecting your ischial spines downward into whatever you're sitting on and through whatever you're sitting on into the earth beneath. And tilt your pelvic bowl anteriorly so that your spine can align with ease. And envision each vertebrae stacking upon the other all the way up through the cervical spine to the crown of your head. And notice for a moment when you're aligned that you can find much more ease. It's not the stacking, sitting up tall, like perhaps your mother told you to do or your grandmother, but a comfortable lengthening, growing, extending. And then pour in the breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Letting the breath be easeful, breathing it in with ease through your nose, not forced. And letting it flow outward, that flow where things just happen. Once again, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Notice how you feel after simply 3 breaths. And flip your palms up towards the sky if they happen to be facing down, inviting openness, receptivity, flexibility, a willingness to grow and lengthen and shift and evolve, even just a tiny bit, not all or none, but just little shifts. Subtle is significant. 1% can be significant. So many people I work with in coaching think they have to do it all at once, but it's little bit by little bit. Little shifts lead to huge shifts. It's like changing the GPS on your car or your phone. Noticing the breath once again, even the difference in breathing and attending to the breath. How do you feel? Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And the theme that I wanted to offer today is finding the balance between ease and effort. And this resonates with me a lot because we often focus on the effort. And when we can find that sweet spot between ease and effort, for example, aligning your spine and reaching to the sky, where is the spot between ease and effort where you can get into flow? Where you've removed the roadblocks, where the effort isn't wasting energy. So many people are tired and exhausted, and oftentimes removing the effort, removing the blocks is what restores the energy. So even as you breathe in, notice the ease versus the effort and let it be easeful. Find that balance between the effort of the breath and the ease of letting it just percolate into every nook and cranny. And exhale, letting it out, not forcibly, Notice how easeful breaths can feel amazing. Not counting, not paying attention, just letting it flow. Breathing in and breathing out. If you want to close your eyes and that feels good, please do. Many of you may already have them closed. For many of us with busy minds, shutting out that visual input allows us to tap into the ease and the flow rather than the effort with more ease. And we will bring a hand to heart as usual and another hand atop in this practice of self-compassion. It's an easeful practice, not forced, not standing on the bathroom pedestal telling yourself you're amazing, just checking in easefully, noticing you have a heart, wishing it well perhaps, checking in with it, noticing how it feels as we begin. Inviting it to soften, sending the breath there to bathe it with oxygen and support. Noticing if the spot behind your heart could use some breath, that spot that's sticky or stuck, the one that's like the pit in your stomach, but stuck in your chest. Breathing in and breathing out. I had someone say once after a Sagrada retreat that their heart felt like it was encased in cement when they arrived. So if your heart happens to feel that way, send the breath, invite the little cracks, invite the space so that that cement can fall away bit by bit, not all at once. Being kind and connecting to this idea of effort versus ease. I invite you to let go of regret of all of the effort that you've used to push you forth so far. Can you just invite more ease and let that effort begin to fall away going forward? Realizing that we need some effort. Getting out of bed is an effort. Going out in the snow is an effort. And effort often brings good things, joy. It brought most of us fancy degrees and jobs. But that now we can soften in and find that spot that is between effort and ease. Sometimes there's lots of ease, sometimes there's lots of effort. But can the overall picture have a balance? And for those of you that have worked with me or heard me speak, you know I don't love the word balance, but it feels like it applies here. Balance is sometimes like a teeter-totter, so work-life balance can invoke stress. But in this balance between effort and ease, it's really how much, it's a ratio, it's a recipe that does require slight little tweaks, and thus the balance invitation. But can it be the easeful balance, the letting go of the holding and the tightness? Like if you're trying to balance on a surfboard and you try too hard, you fall right off. So can you soften in? Can you relax? And in that, you're already inviting ease. So taking a moment here, hand on heart, letting that oxytocin circulate, letting the cortisol lessen in your saliva. We know there's studies for those of you who are science geeks. Just enjoying and giving the ease a chance to come in, welcome it, embrace it. Breathing in and breathing out. Enjoy the breath. Enjoy the ease of the breath. Letting go perhaps of the attachment to the effort, the attachment to the hard. Might hard not be better? And we'll bring our hands to heart center, rubbing them together, creating some heat, especially for those of you in the frigid parts of the world today. Bringing your thumbs to your sternum, connecting thumb to thumb, palm to palm, seeing our eminence into the sternum, enjoying that pressure, connection to self, and taking a moment to set your intention, perhaps around this idea of finding a balance between effort and ease. You may have different words. Thinking about these words, effort and ease, and how much you attach to them. What might you like to explore on your mat today? Taking in a huge, delicious, nourishing in-breath and a long, smooth out-breath. And we'll lower our hands, open our eyes, and come back together. Just noticing how you feel for a moment, doing a body scan, noticing if there are any spots that ache, that need some attention, any tenderness, tightness. Send the breath anywhere that needs a little extra nourishment, attention. And when you feel complete, wiggle your fingers on your thighs, inviting a little looseness. Drop your hands to the floor or by your sides. Shrug your shoulders up. Drop your occiput into the shoulders. Squeeze, squeeze as tight as you can. Tons of effort here. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Exhale, lower easefully and enjoy. Just notice. Reaching your arms out towards the sides to begin. Wrap them around you in front. Give yourself a huge hug. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as tight as you can. Lots of effort, perhaps a little rock. Drop your chin into the cradle of your arms. Huge inhale. And an exhale, squeeze even more. Bringing your chin up to neutral, unwrapping. Press into the side walls. Effort to pinch the scapula. Spread your fingers wide. Tons and tons of effort. And release and melt. Once again, pinch your scapula. Spread your fingers wide. Lots of energy in the fingers. And exhale, release and melt. Wrap your arms in the opposite direction. Huge hug once again. Lift your elbows up over your chest without judgment and squeeze as tight as you can, giving yourself a hug. Squeezing tight, 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 enjoying the squeeze and the effort. The effort can be enjoyable. Chin to chest. Untangle, bring chin back to neutral. Release your arms. Drop them by your side. Reclasp your hands at your sacrum. Press your fists to the floor. Straight elbows, shoulders down and back. Shimmy a little bit, allowing the ease to get you into the effort. Press your hands towards the floor, shoulders down as far as they can go. Drop your chin to chest and breathe. Exhale, release. Inhale, press farther downward. Exhale, release. Chin back to neutral. Release your hands. Huge arm circles towards the sky. Right thumb and middle finger grab the left wrist. Lengthen left side body. Do a shimmy, reach tall. Exhale, tip to the right. Tug the left wrist to the right. Breathe. Effort and ease here. Exhale, drop into ease, stretch, enjoy, delicious. Inhale, refilling. Exhale, tug a wee bit more, arch backwards a tiny bit, a smidge. A little goes a long way, that 1% difference. Come back to center, switch the clasp of your hands. Inhale, reach tall, another shimmy. Stretching as tall as you can. Big inhale, exhale, tip to the left, root your right hip down, lengthen left side body, pouring the breath, inviting it into every nook and cranny. Noticing the balance here, effort and ease, and noticing there is a balance to allow you to balance standing tall. Envision the flow coming out those right fingers with the breath. Tug and arch back slightly. Notice the difference. Coming back to center. Release your arms, open them to the sides and lower them down to the floor. Wiggle fingers, shrug your shoulders if it feels good. Roll the shoulders back easily in both directions. Let yourself enjoy it. It's not work, it's pleasure. And we will come off of block bolster. If you have a blanket, you might want to keep it, especially if you have tight hamstrings. Stretch your legs long in front and with kindness, move the flesh of the seat out of the way. Find your ischial spines and send them down into the earth, rooting. When we have storms, we're growing deep roots. So if you happen to have a storm in your life or be in the middle of a rainstorm, envision yourself and all of the nature around you growing deep roots. Connect those spines downward, feel them on the earth, enjoy their stability. Bend your knees slightly, flex your ankles, stretch your toes wide to start, stretching them as wide as you can, noticing that energy that comes simply through the toes. Always available to you, especially for those of you who take call. Take your shoes off in the call room and enjoy your toes. Relax your toes. Huge breath in. Exhale, slide your hands down your thighs to your shins, wherever they land. Round your back and drop your head. Your knees may come closer to the floor or they may not. And enjoy the energy here. In the ease of relaxing, energy is created. It's moving, it's shifting without effort. Huge breath in, that's the effort. Exhale, slip a little farther forward. If you have a little more room, you can drop your elbows towards your shin, towards your, what are they, thighs, wherever your hands may reach. Ankles are flexed gently. Inhale once again. Exhale, slide forward a wee bit more, kindness. And noticing this once again, 1% change makes a huge difference. Slide up your shins to your knees, to your thighs. Gently bring your hands to your inner thighs and slide your legs apart into a wide angle pose. And once again, rock on those sit bones. Support yourself well, taking time to arrive and get set yourself up for success. Root your ischial spines downward, engage your belly, tilt your pelvic bowl forward, and notice the spine align with ease. Your legs are very engaged through the thighs. Knees are mostly straight, bent if you need to, or narrow your angle. Ankles are flexed. Once again, spread your toes wide and enjoy the toes. I'm a pediatrician. We love toes. Wiggle each and every toe. Babies use them for all kinds of things. They even eat them. Roll your ankles. Coming back to stillness. Coming back to your sit bones. Inhale your arms up, reaching tall. Lengthen your side body. Grow, grow, grow. Exhale, twist to the left. Drop your right hand to your left thigh. Left hand comes behind you, tenting the left fingers as if there's a cupcake underneath. Don't smush the frosting. Exhale. Inhale, grow, lengthen. With ease, reach the crown of your head towards the sky. Exhale, twist gently to the left, massaging your innards, enjoying. Noticing here, there's a balance between effort and ease. If you don't soften into ease, it doesn't feel good and nothing happens. Many of us hold everything tightly. We grip and grasp. We hardly breathe. Breathing in through your nose. Exhale, chin comes a little farther to the left if you have room. Don't overdo it. Release and enjoy. Coming back to center. Bring both hands in front and you walk your hands forward, not very far. Noticing a little goes a long way. Engage your legs, engage your ankles, stretch your toes wide, hinge at the waist, walk your fingers forward a teensy bit more, and enjoy. Your heart is shining forward like a flashlight. Back is flat. And just notice the sensations in the legs. Wiggle fingers and toes to keep it light, inviting in that ease, balancing the effort, perhaps rolling your ankles, getting out of your head about this. Slide forward a wee bit more. Use the breath. Walk your hands just centimeter by centimeter. Notice how it feels. Back is flat, sit bones reaching into the earth. Huge breaths in and out, pouring in the breath with effort and ease. As you release, notice the ease allows you to move a little farther, stretch a little more, grow a little more, feed little nooks and crannies of yourself that have been largely ignored. Slide your hands back up to your groin, engage that belly once again, reaching arms out and up, engaging your belly, tall, tall, tall. Inhale, grow as tall as you can. Exhale, twist to the right, right hand behind, tense on the cupcake, left hand on the right thigh somewhere. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, gaze over the right shoulder, massage your insides with kindness. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, lower. If your backhand doesn't reach the floor, you can always put a block or a blanket there. Inhale once again. Exhale, ring. Massage. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Shift back to center, and you'll lower your arms out and towards the floor. Bend your right knee, bring the right sole of your foot into the left inner thigh. Once again, find your sit bones. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Engage your belly, twist to the left, and fold forward over that left leg. Your right hand might reach the right calf. It might reach, left calf or left foot. Left hand wraps around, comes into the right hip crease. Massage your belly again. Use your breath. And find that balance here between the effort and the ease. Knowing relaxing in is essential, but energy to get yourself here is required. Huge breath in. Drop your head and neck if possible. Untangle the left hand. Slide up the left leg. And you will switch sides. Straight your right leg, bend your left, bring the sole of your left foot into the right inner thigh. Find your sit bones, root them downward, grow tall. Huge breath in and out. Reach your arms up, twist over towards the right leg and fold wherever you've got. Release head and neck, wrap right hand into the left hip crease. Your palm will face outward. Enjoy that massage in there. Drop head and neck, release fully. When you feel complete, sliding up, untangling, coming back to center, and you'll bring both feet, soles of the feet together, coming into butterfly, and have a rock. Hug your heels in as far as they go comfortably. Flap your wings. It's monarch butterfly season in California. Tilt your pelvic bowl forward, engage, stack your spine. Move your chest out of the way of your arms, setting yourself up easily to sink in. Huge breath in. Knees come towards the floor. Big breath in once again. Root from the sit bones, rise up through your spine. Crown of the head reaches to the sky. Exhale, easily let it out. Lower your knees a little bit more and enjoy. Release your hands, stretch your legs long in front, and we'll gracefully, elegantly come to hands and knees. If you need a blanket under your knees, grab that, depending on your knees and your setup and your floor. No judgments. It's needed or it's not. Spread your fingers wide, like equal pie shapes. The palmar surface of the knuckles presses down. The cup in your palms connects to the floor to protect your wrists. Straight elbows, bring humeral heads into the shoulder sockets. Inhale, arch for cow. Enjoy your belly, your back. Exhale, round. Suck your navel all the way up. Drop your head and neck. Inhale, cow. Enjoy it. Welcome in every little stretch, every muscle fiber that pops open here. And if something doesn't feel good, wish it well. Send the breath. Round into cat. Come back to tabletop. Drop to your elbows, palms on the floor. We're going to come into either puppy pose or dolphin. Whoever feels more energetic can do dolphin. Whoever feels less energetic or wants more stretch, you can do puppy pose. Puppy pose, you'll lower your forehead to the floor, walk your elbows long in front, and enjoy the shoulder stretch. And your rear end's going to stick to the sky, balls of the tops of the feet on the floor. For those of you who want to do dolphin, you'll bring your thumbs together, palms flat on the floor. Press your forearms and elbows towards the floor. Curl your toes, lift your hips up, and walk your feet a little bit closer, coming into dolphin. It's pretty active, lots of energy shifts. Just notice where your energy is without judgment and enjoy it. Taking a couple more breaths wherever you are. If you're in dolphin and shaking, invite the ease. Bend your knees if you are in dolphin, and we'll press back into child's pose, knees together today, a little bit different. Hands reach long in front, stretch the shoulders. Your forehead likely won't reach the floor. Some of you might. That's okay. And no judgment about whatever of your belly might be in the way. Just let it be there. Huge breath in and out. Stretch your fingers as long as you can. Fully stretching, gifting your body a little space and breath into those tight spots. When you feel complete, come back to hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide. You're going to bring your left foot between your hands, coming into Anjaneyasana or low lunge. Some of you may want to grab your blocks if you happen to have them. And if you don't, also fine. If you have the blocks, you'll put them on either side of your foot. You'll slide your back knee back. Ensure that your front ankle is in front of your front knee, so you're being kind to your knee. And send some love into the right hip flexor. Staying more upright today. If you don't have blocks, see if you can rest your hands lightly on the front left thigh. Just sending the breath easily into the right hip. Perhaps move your back knee back a tiny bit. And just notice your belly, notice what's happening, breathing in and out. We very often don't use our breath. When things feel edgy or maybe taking effort, we hold our breath. So a reminder to use your breath for you. Most of us use about 30% of our lung volume regularly. Doctors probably even less. So why not use it? It's there to be used. It makes life easier. We are addicted to hard, but what if we treated ourselves well and tapped into the ease and the soft a little bit more? Notice as you're here for longer, That side is relaxing, letting go. Invite ease with each breath. If blocks make it more easeful, enjoy that. Wiggle your left foot, to the outer edge of the mat. If you're using blocks, bring them to the inside of the left foot. We're going to come into lizard pose, staying up today, not folding forward, inviting opening in the pelvis. Noticing this pose is a balance between effort and ease. Effort to hold yourself up, yet invite ease into the tight pelvic region. And don't overstretch here. If you need blocks, use those. Come out of it a little bit if it feels too much. Breathe in and out. Pour the breath in. The breath is the ease. Notice if you need to wiggle your toes or relax your neck and just let things go. If you have blocks, the left block on the outer edge of that left foot, wiggle the left foot back to, not to center, about halfway between center and the left side of the mat. Curl your back toes and lift up. Both legs will straight. We're going to come into a long pyramid here, very long. So if you don't have blocks, your hands will rest on the floor. I'll model that. And you'll tack your left hip back and your right hip forward. And notice it feels super different long. Little change, big difference in the experience. Lifting your left toes up towards the sky, spread them wide. Perhaps lift the whole left ball of the foot up. Exhale, lower it down. Shift your weight forward, coming all the way up onto the ball, tippy toes of the back foot. Lower down. Right hand comes closer to the left foot, probably about halfway. Left hand reaches to the sky, revolving pyramid, and you'll roll your left wrist. Enjoy that left hip. You'll feel some interesting sensations there. Come back to center. Hop your back foot forward, coming into a shorter pyramid. Breathe into the back of the left leg. Use your blocks if you have them. Noticing that the blocks bring an ease that allows more softening, allows more energy shifts. If you have blocks, your back can stay flat. It feels lovely. Pyramid is the perfect blend between effort and ease. Invite ease by wiggling your toes, lifting all 10 of them up, lower them down. 2 more breaths. Bathe the back of the left leg with oxygen. Bring your right foot forward to meet the front. Coming into a forward fold, you'll widen your feet towards the outer edges of the mat. Generously bend your knees, hands to opposite elbow, and let yourself truly invite ease. Sway here like a tree in a storm, perhaps. Lifting up toes, rolling around. Find your middle, find center, find your balance. Ground downward. Connect into where you feel calm, safe, and steady. Notice it's there. And that spot is a blend between effort and ease. But it can only be found when you tap into the ease and the listening and step out of effort. Drop your hands to the floor, engage your belly, and roll up. Enjoy the unroll, inch by inch, smidge by smidge. Let the blood flow do its thing here. Don't get in the way. Let it melt downwards. Pause and enjoy it. Really enjoy it. Huge breath in. Exhale easefully, letting it pour into every nook and cranny. Notice it's melting a bit. How does it feel? Wiggle your fingers lightly, inviting ease. Open eyes. Lift up all 10 toes and lower them down, rooting them downward, far deep into the earth, connecting with the water and the energy deep below. Bringing that energy back up through your right leg, into your hip and into your pelvis, holding it steady. Raise your left knee up to hip height and pause here. Bring your hands to heart center and notice palm to palm. These little connections allow the balance. Invite the ease here, even one-legged. Press the thumbs into the sternum, palms together. Huge breath in. Straight that left leg long. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straight. Exhale, bend. Pause here. Big inhale. Tip forward, draw your left leg backwards, coming into kind of a warrior three, balance pose, whatever works for you, tipping forward, enjoying. Noticing there's a balance here between effort and ease. Relaxing in, softening is what's required to balance here. You may want to bring your arms out to the side. Notice if that's fun. Notice that right leg engaged. Finding that balance between ease and effort, rolling wrists, rolling ankles if you can. Bring hands back to center. Bring your leg back to the front. Bring the sole of your foot into your calf, coming into tree pose. That right leg is noticeably feeling its effort. Send the breath there. Reach your tree tall. A winter tree, stick-like, roll the wrists in both directions. Bring your hands back to heart center, noticing lots of effort in the right leg. Bring your left knee forward and lower your foot and send some kindness breath movement into the right leg. Roll your ankle, wiggle it out, do whatever you need, shake it out. Coming back to center. Notice your soles of your feet, every little smidge of them connecting downwards. Lift up the toes, 10 toes, spread them downward using all your resources. Draw up the energy through the left leg into your belly here, across the front like a band to help you balance. Bring hands to heart, raise your right knee hip height if that works for you. Pause here. Inhale, straight. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straight. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straight. Exhale, bend. Inhale, and on the exhale, tip forward, coming into your warrior three, flying pose, whatever works for you. You want to literally fly, stretch your arms. Invite ease here, like the birds that are soaring. I'm sure they have effort too, but they look like they don't. Bring hands back to heart center to support you well as you shift. Bring your knee back front. Huge breath in. Exhale, sole of the foot comes to the calf. Come into tree. Draw your right knee back slightly. Refine your balance. Find the spot. Balance actually requires a balance between effort and ease. Grow your tree if that's possible. Wiggle your fingers. Bring hands back to heart center and bring your knee forward and come down. Send love and attention to the left leg, appreciating it, thanking it. We'll come back to stand. Hands can still be at heart. Huge breath in. Pour in the breath to every nook and cranny. Exhale, let it out. Lower your hands, reach them out and up. Palms come together, slight arch back, and we'll fold forward, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift, back is flat. Enjoy the backs of the legs. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step back to downward dog directly, and enjoy your dog here. Invite ease and let your body decide what that is. What is the stretching that's easeful? What does it crave? What feels good? And do that. It's your body, and then today is just whatever day it is. It might need something different today than usual. Practice listening, something most of us were taught not to do. You might want to try lifting up all 10 toes and press the balls of your feet into the earth. Walking the dog. You might try lifting your heels high, press your hips all the way back, the juiciest stretch. Lower your heels to the floor and enjoy. Invite ease with the breath. Notice if you want deeper breaths, more shallow breaths, and notice what brings that ease, despite the inherent effort in holding yourself upside down. Downward dog is actually a perfect pose for effort and ease, in that in yoga we call it a rest pose. For most of us, it doesn't feel super restful, and you notice if you have to hang out here a long time that it requires a lot of shoulders and arms. But it is a balance between effort and ease. They're pretty well balanced here. 3 more breaths here. Let yourself enjoy this downward dog. Your body likely wondered if you would get to do one today. Let it enjoy it fully. Embrace it, welcome it. Bend your knees, come down to hands and knees. Find your center. Bring your right foot between your hands and come into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Grab your blocks if you need them. Slide your back knee back and find that release. Find the balance here between effort and ease. Practice in yoga finding it so you can find it in real life off your mat as well. There's a balance between effort and ease in a clinic day, in the OR, in the ER, it's everywhere, in parenting, in marriages with your parents. Breathe into the left hip, inviting some ease, inviting some softening. Let it melt. And notice there's inherent effort, tightness here. Find the ease in it. Draw your attention to the part that brings ease, feels easeful. The part that feels like relief or lovely. And notice your breath. If you're holding your breath, breathe. We're doing more holding of poses today. Less moving, less flowing, but allowing ourselves to invite the ease. Sometimes you have to slow down to invite ease. You actually have to pause and invite it. Notice where you're getting in the way of ease. When this feels complete, you'll walk your right foot to the outer edge of the mat and bring your hands towards the middle, coming into a lizard. Most of you will slide your back knee back, roll out to the outer edge of your right foot, but it'll look a little bit different for many of you. And I invite you to stay up today, whether that's on your fists, on blocks, not folding all the way in. Heart is up, heart is light, heart is shining forward. Crown of the head is reaching to the sky rather than folding in. You will likely be not as far into the pose, but you'll notice different things. Invite the ease and the softening, even though it might feel impossible here. And this side might feel different than the other. Give yourself permission to back out of it a little bit if this side is tighter. Pressing too far is 100% not ease. Use the breath to invite softening and ease. Melt. Walk the right foot towards the middle. Bring the block to the outside if you have blocks, and if not, bring your hand to the outside. Curl your back toe. We're going to come into that super long pyramid, which is a bit different. It's a wide pyramid. Your feet are wide. Your back heel reaches towards the floor. Both knees straight. Both toes reach toward jet line to the front. Straight toes. Your back heel is going to be close to the floor, but probably not touching. Tack your right hip back, left hip forward. Notice that tiny little smidge movement, 1%, big shift in what you notice. You can rock your hips a little bit, find that spot. It's almost like a massage. Shift your weight forward and back. Lift up all 5 toes on that front foot. Notice just toes shifts. Invites awareness and sensation. Lower toes. And find ease even here. Ease with the breath. Two more rests here. Notice the longer you are somewhere that you can find the ease. Bring your back foot forward about 2 to 3 footprints, coming into a usual pyramid pose. Grab blocks if you have them. Noticing that when we support ourselves well, we often are able to soften in, find ease, and grow in ways that are more interesting. If you have blocks, back is flat. If you don't, you can try to stay flat too. Do not put your hands on your knees and press into it though. You can put your hands on your thigh. It will involve more effort for sure. I encourage those of you who join me regularly to get some blocks. Doesn't matter which ones or where. I like cork blocks, but whatever block is better than a book or no blocks. Allow yourself to soften in. Invite ease into the back of the right leg here. Use the breath to bring in ease. Notice your hips. You can wiggle your hips here too and enjoy the different sensations when you do. It's pretty cool. Be curious. Curiosity brings ease. When we're rigid or inflexible, there's very little ease. Noticing that the path into ease is often different. It's playfulness, it's curiosity, it's wiggling, shimmying. That's an analogy for the rest of your life too. Hop your back foot forward to meet the front foot. Come into a forward fold. If you happen to have blocks, you can stack your blocks and put your forehead on them. Widen your feet to the outer edge of your mat. If you don't have blocks, come into hands on opposite elbows. But if you have blocks, ground your forehead into the earth, knees bent. Your hands will still be likely elbow to elbow. Your knees are super wide, so your belly can just fall in between. Notice the information coming through your forehead if it's placed on something. For those of you without blocks, gaze back through your legs and enjoy a different perspective. Those of you with blocks can try it too. It's just not quite the same. And notice your breath here. Is there ease while upside down? Can you invite ease no matter what position you're in? And noticing here, there's effort and ease. Both can happen simultaneously. 2 more breaths here, upside down. If you want to try moving your blocks, bring your hands to your sacrum and let your hands fall forward. Release head and neck and shoulders. That might feel lovely, or you might want to stay grounded, forehead, third eye into the earth. Notice what your body needs and let it enjoy. Hands back to the sacrum if they are behind you, sliding them down your thighs. Release the blocks wherever you are. Engage your belly and roll up slowly, inch by inch. Gift yourself the time to roll and let yourself enjoy it. And when you arrive, let yourself literally melt back into the floor. Let the sands land in through the hourglass, as we say. For those of you my age who used to watch The Days of Our Lives, roll your wrists and enjoy here in Tadasana or mountain pose. Invite ease here. Everything is engaged. You're standing tall and invite ease all at the same time. Notice what you need to do that. Likely use your breath and invite little wiggles, little bits of movement. Movement brings ease. Roll your wrists in either direction. And we will slowly, easefully transition to the floor. When you arrive on the floor, keep your knees bent today to start. Give yourself a moment to arrive, to transition, to readjust to your relationship with the world around you. Something we rarely do in our lives. We just move through. So pause and arrive. Pause and notice. Pause and adapt and adjust. Bring your soles of your feet a little farther away from your rear end, the opposite of what I usually cue. Drop your right knee towards the floor and you'll slide your left foot up. Draw it through the triangle made by your left knee and lower your right knee to the floor. You should enjoy a thigh stretch, a little bit of a psoas stretch, a little bit of a hip stretch. Play with this a little bit. Wiggle your foot a little farther forward. Press your knee a little bit towards the floor. You can bring your right knee up. Notice where that spot that feels the most amazing is for you. It's going to be different for everyone. And perhaps if it's okay for your shoulders, bring your arms into a cactus shape or a T. Notice even moving your arms and brings in more ease. Send the breath into the right hip, down to the right knee, and out the right shin and foot. Up the right foot, through the right shin, to your knee, to your thigh, to your hip, groin, pelvis, psoas, belly, and out your mouth. Do that one more time. In through your nose, down your right side, to the knee, to the shin, out the foot. Drawing the breath up the foot, to the knee, to the thigh, to the hip, waist, and out your mouth. Slide your right knee out, bringing the sole of the foot back to the floor. Wiggle your hips for a moment, finding a little bit of ease. Draw the left knee to the floor, slide the left foot through, and lower the left knee to the floor, and enjoy. Enjoy the release. Invite ease here. Welcome it. We rarely welcome ease or invite it. It might need more invitations in your life. Where, when you're making dinner, can you find ease? Where, when you're in a room with a patient, can you connect with ease? It's usually there. We just miss it in our push to do more. When we're present, we find ease. Be present with this left leg here. Breathing in through your nose or the breath down into your pelvis, into the left thigh, to the knee, out the shin and foot. In the sole of your foot to your ankle, to your knee, up your thigh, into your belly, and out your mouth. Do that a few times. When it feels complete, bring the left sole of the foot back to the floor. Squeeze your knees in towards you, both of them. Head towards your knees. Squeeze as tight as you can. You may want to cross your ankles. Squeeze as tight, tight, tight as you can. Even squeeze your face here. Exhale, release towards the floor. Lower your hands and melt in. Draw your heels a wee bit closer to your rear end. Press your palms into the floor. Use effort. Lift your hips up towards the sky. Shimmy your shoulders underneath you. Come into bridge pose. Grab the outer edges of your mat. Tug it towards your heels. Reach your hips towards the sky. Undo your back here. Invite ease into your throat and your chest. Exhale, release, staying up. Inhale, reach high once again. Exhale, lower down. Untuck, roll. And I invite you here to choose one of two poses. You can knock your knees together and come into an easy twist, or come into happy baby and roll your sacrum. Soles of the feet will reach towards the sky, and you can rock in happy baby, or you can windshield wiper your knees, or just pause for a moment on either side. Choose what feels best to you. Knowing it's different for each of us, and play with whichever pose you pick. They both allow for some flow and playfulness and ease. And when you feel complete with whichever of these moving poses you picked, bring the soles of your feet together, knees apart, coming into reclining butterfly or Supta Baddha Konasana. Hand to heart, hand to belly with intention. If you need to support your knees with the blocks, feel free to pop a block under each knee, or not. We won't be here that long. Inviting more ease here.
Inviting the breath to slow down and pour into every nook and cranny. Noticing how you feel, wiggling fingers and toes. Notice the soles of the feet connecting. Notice your knees and invite a little ease for them to drop a smidge farther to the floor, 1%. Coming up to the groin, inviting it to soften. Coming up to your belly, inviting it to soften. Coming up to the heart space under your hand. Inviting your chest and heart to intentionally soften. Invite ease into the breath. Taking in one huge inhale here. And long, big, juicy, delicious exhale. And you can stay here for Shavasana if you wish, or draw your knees together with your hands with kindness, supporting them, and extend your legs long towards the outer front of the mat. Drop your toes to the outer edge of the mat, flip palms open, lower shoulders to the sky, to the floor. Wherever you are, breathe in. And on the exhale, let go of all the effort. Allow yourself to soften in and surrender into complete ease here for just a few moments. Letting the earth hold you, letting your body breathe for itself. Letting the thoughts float in and float out. Enjoy ease.
If you wish to stay in Shavasana longer, feel free. For those who wish to come out, gently deepen your breath. Wiggle fingers and toes lightly. Stretch in some way. And find your way to a seat, whatever way feels right today. Let your body find its most easeful way to a seat. And when you arrive, bring your hands to heart directly. Thanking yourself for taking time for you. And perhaps setting an intention to invite more ease and play with this balance of effort and ease in the week ahead. The light in me reflects and honors the light in each and every one of you. May you have a beautiful week with much ease ahead. Namaste.